Finally, it's Saturday. Anya is so excited that she almost ends up choking on her breakfast. After dressing up, the Forger family heads to the pet shop. The owner of the shop works for Westalis, and after knowing the true demands, he shows the dogs. Loid wants to give it a shot just in case Anya happens to like guard dogs. But he soon realizes there's no way Anya is going to agree to buy any one of them. The owner suggests they go to a pet adoption center, which is just a little bit ahead. But before they can go, Loid is called up by another agent. Loid starts pretending to have a bad stomach and tells Anya and Yor to go ahead without him. Yor insists they can wait. But Anya reads Loid's mind and helps him by telling that her father takes a lot of time to poop and that they should go ahead without him. Yor, while blushing, agrees and goes to the pet adoption center. Loid is thankful to Anya but thinks maybe she did a little too much. After meeting up with another agent, he heads to the headquarters. In the headquarters, we see a young boy named Chris has been captured. 2 days ago, the foreign minister of Westalis, Brantz, came to Berlin to attend a summit which is going to be held today. But Westalis got a report from one of their agents that a group of students studying at Berlin University are planning to attack the foreign minister. That's why after capturing Chris, he is being questioned for further information about the attack. But he is reluctant to disclose anything. But to his surprise, Sylvia tells him he is not needed anymore because his leader has been caught. Chris is in disbelief and is taken to another cell. On his way, he sees his leader, Keith, being handcuffed. The moment Keith sees Chris, he starts putting all the blame on him and clarifies it's Chris who is behind the attack. It's devastating for Chris to be backstabbed by his leader. He clarifies that he isn't the leader and it's Keith. In the cell, he starts disclosing about their hideouts, their exact plan, and the method to attack the minister. Loid disguised worked. But on hearing the method of attacking the foreign minister is by bombs strapped to a dozen trained dogs. Everyone is in shock and worry. Stopping well-trained dogs is not at all easy. Loid is suspicious as to how a bunch of ordinary students have the finances to train a dozen dogs. Because training a dog requires a lot of resources and time. The only way they could have pulled it off is if a powerful person is backing their activities. Upon knowing the hideouts, and further info about the plan, a meeting is called up. According to Sylvia's instruction, Luke is assigned to leak this information, so that the secret police will take action. Because no government would want their reputation to be destroyed in such a way. And Loid with other agents is assigned to raid the hideouts and capture the students and the dogs. The scene shifts to the pet adoption center, where Anya and Yor have just arrived. On seeing so many cute animals, Anya is very excited. Anya notices a big furry dog outside. On looking at him, she sees an image of her family. Anya is confused as to how the dog knows about her family. She gets curious. While Yor is busy talking with the staff, Anya sneaks out to the building in which the dog was taken. Upon arriving, she sees alongside him there are a lot of dogs tied up. She hears someone talking inside the room and tries to listen. Inside the room, it's Keith and other students. They are very excited to initiate the plan and bring back Ostania's former glory. By killing Westalis's foreign minister, Keith is optimistic that a war will break out and Westalis will be wiped out from the world's map. Anya is worried to know about it. She tries to escape, however, she is caught by Kurt, who is one of the students. Keith can't risk leaving any witness behind, no matter if it's a little girl. Without any hesitation, he approaches Anya to kill her. Just then the white dog breaks free and stands in front of Anya to protect her. But when one of the students shows him a rod, he gets scared and hides behind Anya. As Keith approaches them, Anya reads the dog's thoughts and learns a phone is about to ring. And surprisingly, after a few seconds the phone rings. Keith is notified about their hideouts being raided one by one. Keith finally understands why he hasn't seen Chris since this morning. As of now, Keith doesn't know it's Westalis's agents who are raiding it, and believes the secret police have found out about their plan. But he soon notices that Anya with the white dog has run away. After filling up other students with what they have to do, together with Kurt, Keith goes after Anya to get rid of her. On the other side, Yor is freaking out as she is not able to find Anya. She becomes more terrified when she remembers recent news about young girls being abducted only to be sold off as someone else's bride. Just then Yor sees Anya getting taken away by a dog. Instantly she runs after her. Anya on her way finally understands that, just like her, this dog also has a special power. But unlike her, he has the ability to see the future. Anya is excited. With his help, she is ready to save the world and earn another Stella. But to her surprise, the dog just keeps on running in circles. Eventually, they are caught by Keith. Kurt grabs Anya and tries to get rid of her. But in a nick of time, Yor comes and with just one kick, she destroys Kurt. Keith is worried to see the woman is the little girl's mother, and now he also has to get rid of her. He orders the dog to attack her, but after seeing Yor's terrifying face he runs away. But it also made Anya scared. After hearing all the noises, people nearby start to come to check the situation. Keith cannot risk wasting any more time, so he leaves. After tying up Kurt, Yor hugs Anya and expresses how much scared she was just thinking she would lose her. Anya apologizes for being so reckless and promises she'll never run away again without telling her. Anya tells Yor about everything she heard about bad guys planning to attack using bombs. Yor immediately notifies the police about it. While she is talking, Anya reads the white dog's mind and sees the image where her father is no more. She further sees a clock tower bell ringing, a huge explosion happening, Loid's crushed body and news about Westalis declaring war against Ostania after the foreign minister's death. Anya is scared. She cannot let her father die, because then the world peace would be gone. She wants to help him, but if she tells her mother about it, then Yor will find out about her powers. So as an excuse to give toilet paper to her father, Anya gets on the dog and runs towards the clock tower. Yor immediately follows her. The call Yor made is intercepted by Westalis agents. With Kurt being caught, apart from Keith, every student has been caught. And as expected, they are reluctant to give away any information. In fact, they boast about bombarding Westalis and celebrating the massacre. Sylvia, with a serious tone, asks if they have ever lost their limb or smelled rotten flesh. Have they witnessed their parents and siblings being crushed in front of their eyes in a crumbling building? Or have they ever been so hungry that they tried to eat a piece of wood? With them knowing nothing about war, she furiously tells them they have no right to talk about celebrating a war. Even though the students' resolve doesn't change, after listening to Sylvia they stay quiet. Now, with only one hideout remaining, Loid with other agents heads to the location. The summit is about to start in 2 hours, and by this time Keith realizes he is the only one remaining. And the people he thought were secret police are actually from Westalis. Since the last hideout in Clock Tower hasn't been raided, he decides to plant a bomb so he can teach Westalis agents some lessons. After planting the bomb, Keith sets up a dog with a bomb and decides to attack the foreign minister by himself. Anya arrives at the clock tower. She knows the explosion happened when the bell rang, but she cannot read the time. So she asks the old man when the big bell will ring. The old man tells her in about 30 minutes. But even after knowing it, Anya doesn't know how much is 30 minutes. So she decides to just head to the tower. After arriving, as she is about to open the door, the white dog barks. And she realizes the bomb will explode if she opens it. She finds a way through the window and gets inside the room. She wears her gloves. Anya has seen her spy anime and knows she has to cut the red wire to disarm the bomb. But on seeing all the wires are black, she is devastated. She is worried that time is slipping away. On seeing a ketchup bottle left by the bad guys, Anya gets an idea. Soon after, Loid with other agents arrive. With caution, they proceed further. They see the door covered in ketchup with a big "No" written on it. One of the agents believes it's a trick and rushes to open the door. Outside, as the tower bell rings, Anya closes her eyes in the hope her father sees the message. Back in the tower, as the agent is about to open the door, Loid stops him. He has a feeling that it's some kind of message. Using a broken mirror, he sees a bomb attached to the door. Knowing how close they were to death, the other agents had a relief. Seeing the secret police have caught up, Loid leaves disarming of the bomb on their hand and escapes. 30 minutes later, it's time for the summit. members of the secret police are here for foreign minister's security. But strangely, the foreign minister gets in a different car and without any security drives away. The reason for this unusual behavior is because it's Loid in disguise. He took the foreign minister's clothes to lure Keith towards him. As he starts circling, the other agents find the car in which Keith is and tries to shoot him. Keith successfully avoids getting hit and throws a hand grenade. After escaping from them, using the dog's ability to smell, Keith goes after the foreign minister. On seeing the foreign minister has abandoned the car and is running away, Keith set the dog free. The moment the dog bites the minister, he will press the button. But on seeing the foreign minister's incredible movements, Keith is really impressed. But soon, Loid is cornered. As the dog jumps, Loid uses the gun to remove the jacket and throws it into the river. Keith, seeing the situation, immediately presses the button. But to his surprise, the bomb explodes in the river. Loid puts the dog into the dumpster and approaches Keith. By this time, Keith realizes all this time he wasn't chasing the minister, it's someone else. Realizing he has messed up, Keith escapes. Loid knows his number plate and goes after him. As Keith is running away, Yor sees him and suspects he has taken Anya. She jumps in front of him, and with just one kick she takes Keith down. Later, after Yor reports to the police, Keith is caught. And with everything being solved, Loid heads to the pet adoption center. But on the way, he meets both Yor and Anya. Yor explains what happened and apologizes for being a terrible mother. Loid scolds Anya for being so reckless. To know both of them were caught up in his mission, Loid is glad that they are safe. Soon Sylvia comes in disguise as an officer from the secret police. She is here to take back the white dog. But Anya is against it. She tells them that he saved her life from the bad guys and that she wants to adopt him. Loid tries to convince her he is not even a little puppy like she wanted. But no matter what anyone says, Anya wants it. To make it happen, she gives the ultimatum to not attend the school if they don't let her take him back home. Sylvia cannot put Operation Strix in danger, so she agrees. But before she hands the dog, she wants to make sure it's not infected with any disease, and promises to deliver the dog tomorrow. Anya is very happy. Seeing Anya's smile, Sylvia remembers her daughter who passed away long ago. The Forger family walks home. On the way, Anya and Yor are very happy as they helped in catching the bad guys. But on the other side, Loid is physically and mentally exhausted from doing these submissions along with Operation Strix. The next day, Anya is getting restless while waiting for her dog. After a long wait, the dog arrives. Anya is very happy and excited. Without wasting any time, together with her parents she goes to the dog park. Upon arriving, Anya sees the owner calling their dog with names. And she realizes she hasn't given any name to the dog. So while playing with the white dog she starts thinking about a name. Seeing Anya's smile, Loid remembers his past. The things he has experienced, he doesn't want anyone to go through. And will do everything to make sure this mission is a success. After playing for some time, Anya has lost her gloves. Everyone starts searching for it. On seeing another dog has it, Anya tries taking it. But the bad dog scares her away. The white dog comes to Anya's rescue and wins back the glove. Anya is amazed to see, just like her favorite character Bondman, he also saved her from the bad dog. And on seeing just like Bondman's glove, the dog also has black patterns on his legs. Anya names him Bond. Everyone likes the name. Bond remembers his past when he had to eat spoiled food and go through incredible pain from the experiments. But now it feels like he is in heaven. After a long weekend, it's Monday. Anya wakes up only to realize she'll not be getting any Stella because the attack on the foreign minister is not made public to keep Ostania's reputation unharmed. Anya arrives at school and meets up with Becky. On her way, she sees Damien. This time Anya brought a family photo which was retaken with Bond. And by showing it to Damien she can't help but feel excited upon thinking about saving the world and her father giving peanuts for the whole year as a reward. She intentionally drops the photo and waits for Damien to notice it. But to her surprise, Damien completely ignores her and heads to the class. Anya is devastated. Becky tells Anya to not waste her time with such boys. She picks up the photo. On seeing Anya's father, she is head over heels for him. She requests Anya to introduce her to him. Anya tries to tell Becky that her father is married. But Becky doesn't care. She keeps the photo and both of them head to the class. In the class, students receive news about their midterm examination starting in 2 weeks. With there being a total of 4 subjects, every top 2 students from each subject will receive a stella. On the other side, anyone who receives failing marks will get a nitrous bolt. Anya got 13 marks on her quiz, so she is taking extra class after school. But now she knows of whom mind she must read during their midterm exams. On her way, Anya, upon seeing the moon, remembers something. She arrives home and asks her father when the moon goes away. Loid tells her in about 2 weeks, on the day of her exam. Anya is worried, because during a lunar eclipse, her power will not work. So now she has to study to not receive nitrous bolt. The next day, Yor calls Yuri to become Anya's tutor for the day. On seeing Loid and his daughter, Yuri is pissed. Anya was excited to meet her uncle. But upon reading his mind, she loses her excitement. Loid has a mission, so he goes there by making an excuse for going shopping. After he leaves, Yuri's teaching begins. He is jealous to see, unlike him, Anya is able to spend every day with his sister. And on top of it, she is the daughter of Loid, who is a devil. He strictly teaches her. But after Yor tells him to be gentle, Yuri is determined and promises to be as gentle as possible. By this time, Anya is well versed with Yuri's obsession with her mother. That's why she expresses she wants to study hard, so she can get good grades and become an imperial scholar, so that she can gift her mother a lot of tasty food. Yuri is impressed to see how pure this girl is. He made the mistake of thinking Anya is the daughter of Loid, so she must be a devil as well. And now, knowing she thinks so much about his sister, he starts teaching her gently. After studying for hours, when he asks if she finally understands grammar, Anya asks what exactly is grammar. Yuri had enough and leaves home. Anya cannot afford to fail the exam, so she goes to study by herself. After some time, Loid comes back. On seeing the book Anya was studying, he is devastated because foreign language is not one of the 4 main subjects. After 2 weeks, the exam finally begins. And once it's done, Loid has come to edit Anya's answer sheet to make sure she gets enough passing marks. He disguises himself as a teacher and proceeds to go to the locker room where all the answer sheets are being kept. He successfully breaks in. On seeing her paper, he gives a sudden look. Some days later, the results are announced. Damien receives an overall rank of 11. He got 94 marks in language, which is the second best, and hence he got a stella. On the other side, Becky is 46th rank, and Anya is 213th rank. The rank is so awful that Damien doesn't even want to laugh. But Anya is very happy, because she avoided receiving a nitrous bolt. Proudly she goes to tell her father about it. Loid pretends to be strict as she barely passed. But deep inside he is proud to see Anya get these marks on her own. He didn't have to change anything on her answer sheet. After their midterm exams, students are given an activity to visit their parents' workplace and interview them about their professional work, and make a report out of it. After arriving home, Anya tells her mother about the activity. Because of this, she has to visit her workplace. Yor is in worry. She starts thinking that if she were to take Anya with her, then both of them, after getting dressed up, would receive the target name and will break in their hideout. And she has to teach her the correct way to use weapons. But obviously, Yor cannot tell her that. Anya heard it all. While panicking, she thinks it's better to visit her father's workplace. So the following day, together with Loid, she visits the biggest hospital in Berlin. The reason Loid chose this fake occupation is because wealthy and powerful people from the political and business world visit the hospital. And this way he has a great way to get close to them and gather plenty of information. Anya starts by asking the reason he chose his job. Loid answers that just like everyone gets cold that hurts their body. Similarly, many people have a cold in their mind which is caused as a result of some traumatic past or bad experience. For example, There are a lot of veterans who are still suffering from the aftermath of the war. After hearing this, Anya writes it down on her notepad. Soon they meet with Loid's colleagues. Everyone is mesmerized to see how cute Loid's daughter is. Anya asks them how her father does in his job. Everyone compliments how hardworking he is, and everyone in the hospital respects him. Loid has made sure to be sociable and become good-natured towards others, because if in future he is ever suspected of being a spy, everyone would come to his defense. Anya asks her father what's the most difficult thing about the job. Loid answers, unlike an illness in someone's body, for a psychiatrist it's difficult to see the illness in someone's heart and mind. From there, they go and visit Loid's room. Anya asks where is the brain modification machine. Loid refuses there is no such thing, and wonders what kind of anime is she watching. With everything being answered, they go home. And the next day, every student one by one shares their reports. When it's Anya's turn, she ends up mixing words with what Loid said and what she actually heard from reading his mind. She shares that her father is a psychiatrist who helps treat mental illness. He is desperate to build connections, so he builds trust with his targets and fools his colleagues by faking a good image. Everyone in the class starts wondering what exactly Anya's father does. In the evening, Sylvia gives a mission to an agent named Nightfall. She has to complete this mission with Loid. Nightfall, with a fake name Fiona Frost, works as Loid's colleague in his hospital. She is one of the best spies Westalis have. But because of her unavailability, she wasn't able to join Loid on Operation Strix. But now she is ready and wants to be a part of this mission. But Sylvia says that the mission is going slow and steady. There is no need for her to play the role of Loid's wife now. Fiona asks what if the current wife withdraws herself. Sylvia demands what she means by it. Fiona doesn't answer her and leaves. As she walks out, we see that other agents are terrified of her. Because Fiona is someone who will swipe anyone's glory just to earn the top spot, even if it's Loid himself. At home, Yura is sad because today yet again she failed to make breakfast. And it was Loid who had to prepare it. Just then the doorbell rings. It's Fiona. She introduces herself as Loid's colleague and has come to return Anya's magnifying glass which she left in the hospital. But both Loid and Anya are out walking Bond, so Yura invites her inside the house. Yura is mesmerized to see how pretty Fiona is. As Fiona takes a sip, she is thinking of a way to make Yura leave this family. She starts asking questions like, it must be tough for her to take care of someone else's daughter. But Yura expresses how much fun she has with Anya. Even though she is not her real mother, she wants to make sure Anya doesn't miss her real mother. But because of her lack of ability to cook, it forces Loid to work more. Fiona finds a weakness. She lies about Loid complaining at work about his wife being always. But before she can complete her sentence, just then Loid and Anya return. Loid is surprised to see Fiona here. He wonders if there is an emergency because of which she has to visit him personally. Not to raise suspicion, he uses coded language to talk to her. Like when Loid is asking, isn't the weather great? The hidden message is, what's the purpose of her visit? And just like it, they continue their conversation. Fiona asks the reason he is walking the dog and shopping when it should have been his wife doing such things. Loid, with a serious look, asks what she means by it. After reading the current report on Operation Strix, Fiona knows Loid has been getting too comfy playing pretend family. And she needs to get involved to make sure there is no problem. Anya is reading their minds, so she knows what they are talking about. She wonders if Fiona is a bad guy. She tries to read her mind and is in shock to find out that Fiona is in mad love with Loid. She wants to be the perfect wife who can do everything for Loid. She wants to make sure he doesn't need to do anything. She wants Loid to fall in love with her and dump Yor. And after completing the mission they can marry for real. As earlier we saw, many agents fear her because Fiona is ambitious towards her work. But in reality, Fiona's true ambition is to earn Loid's respect and become his wife. But Loid is not aware of her, and as everyone believes Fiona is an ambitious person who will step on anyone to complete the mission. As they are talking, we see you earlier heard what Fiona said about Loid complaining about his wife in the hospital. She is freaking out to know it, but also knows she is a useless wife who can't even cook food. As they are drinking coffee, Anya accidentally drops her hot cocoa. Fiona is disgusted to see it, because if she had been her mother, she would have trained Anya to catch the cup before it fell. Anya heard it all. There's no way she wants Fiona as her mother. She hugs Yor and expresses how much she wants to cuddle her mother because she wipes off her hot cocoa. Yor is blushing. She promises to do her best as a mother and wife. But Loid assures her she is already doing so much. Anya loves her mother, which is enough for him. Looking at Loid's smile, Fiona knows it is fake. She has known Loid as her master who taught her to always hide true emotions. But something is unusual about this fake smile. Seeing how perfect it is, she is uneasy and leaves. It's heavily raining outside, so Loid goes to give her the umbrella. He asks what was the reason she came to visit him. Fiona finally tells him that there is a joint mission they have to do, and tomorrow she'll brief him on the details. Before leaving, Fiona tells Loid to not slow her down in their mission. But in reality, what she truly meant was to see how much hard work she does so she can prove her capabilities and become a worthy wife. The next day, Loid is briefed on their mission. The target is K.V. Campbell, a wealthy businessman who is known for his vast collection of antiques. One of the paintings, known as The Lady in the Sun, is worth $1 million. But the important thing about the painting is that the original owner, Colonel Eric, was a part of Ostania's intelligence service during the war. And during that time he was said to be in possession of a troublesome top-secret information. If the secret is leaked to the public, it will again initiate a war. With the information being hidden in the painting secretly, they are required to obtain it before the Secret Service. Today, there's a tennis tournament which is organized by Campbell. And in reward, the winner can choose any of his antiques, which also includes The Lady in the Sun. So after planning, both of them disguised as a couple, Twain and Nephalia, enter the tournament. They could have sneaked in and stole the painting, but it would have been risky. So this is the only way with no risk and a high chance. The first round begins. Loid, with incredible strength and speed, easily gains points. Even though the players are professionally retired, still Loid and Fiona's strength and accuracy win the game. Their next opponent uses special medicine to boost their strength. But still, they also lose. Fiona is playing superbly as she doesn't want to miss her chance to prove her capabilities. After beating more players, they made it to the final round. In it, they have to face K.V. Campbell's children, Kim and Carol, who are very excellent players. They aren't professional but have a huge talent. Before the final match starts, both Loid and Fiona sit in a room to rest. Fiona is happy to see she was able to show off her skills, and now they are going to win the tournament. Loid suddenly holds her hand. Fiona is getting excited to think Loid is going to confess his feelings. But to her surprise, Loid is worried about her torn-up hand. He tells her to not push herself this much. Fiona pulls her hand away and replies she is fine. Inside, Fiona is blushing and can't believe Loid is actually caring for her. But because her face tells something else, Loid thinks he really pissed her off. Soon they realize that the room is slowly filling with a chemical. Loid knows it's not lethal, but the chemical is going to weaken them. The room is locked, so they have no other choice but to fall into Campbell's trap. After 10 minutes, the game is about to begin. Campbell is confident his children will win, and that's why he has placed a huge bet on them. On the other side, everyone else has bet on Loid and Fiona. The game begins. Kim and Carol have modified the racket. Using it, they are very dominant and easily win the first set. Everyone who bet on Loid and Fiona is furious at them. But in the second set, Loid and Fiona's chemical effects have now gone. So now they are at their full strength. As the game goes on, Kim and Carol start to lose the rhythm and are worried to realize they are going to lose. They want their father to gift them a yacht, and for that, they must win the game. So they start cheating. Traps are being triggered for Loid and Fiona. The height of the net is rising, strong wind is blowing against them. But despite all this, Loid and Fiona end up using them to their benefit. Soon, things become more complicated. A sniper and the ball boys start to shoot rubber bullets. The color of the bullet is the same as the quartz, so there is no worry about anyone finding it. But in the end, with insane strength and speed, Loid and Fiona win the game. Campbell is devastated to realize he has lost a huge bet. Kim approaches Loid. He congratulates him for winning even after all the dirty tricks he pulled. Loid praises him by saying he has a talent for tennis, and if he and his sister put in hard work they will succeed as a professional. Campbell is really happy to see, despite the loss, his children learned an important lesson. A person comes and says something in Campbell's ear. Loid has his suspicions what it might be. As planned, Fiona selects the painting. But Campbell requests her to choose something else, as this is not for sale anymore. Loid understands the state's security have arrived to take the painting. So while Fiona is selecting a different reward, Campbell tells his staff to take out the painting and give it to the people waiting outside. Loid is disguised as the staff. He switches it with a fake one and gives it to the secret police. After getting in the car, both of them high-fived each other for the mission's success. On the way, Fiona wonders after what she did today, will Loid accept her as his wife? Soon they arrive. Upon seeing her playing tennis, Fiona gets out and challenges her. Loid stops her. But Fiona wants to make her feel miserable and quit as Loid's wife. To Loid's surprise, Yor agrees with the challenge. Because she doesn't want Loid to feel like she is a useless wife. And with it, the game begins. Yor is the first one to serve. She doesn't want to hold back any of her strength, so she swings the racket with everything she has got. But she ends up missing the ball. Fiona concludes Loid deserves a better wife. But on giving a closer look, she notices the ball crumbles in pieces. Yor apologizes for it. She again serves, but this time she holds back a lot of her strength. The power is so immense the ball starts to glow blue. Fiona, seeing death in front of her, uses her strength to return the ball. But the power is so much, the ball ends up penetrating the racket. Fiona is devastated and accepts her loss. She now admits Yor is better than her, but she'll return for a rematch and to take away her Loid. Yor with puppy eyes hopes for a compliment. But Loid tells her she did nice. Yor is not satisfied as she was hoping for much more. The following day on her way to work, Yor is yet again depressed about her uselessness. Over the past few days, Yor was secretly learning cooking lessons from Camilla and testing the dishes on Yuri. But despite the efforts, she isn't able to cook anything edible. Yor was hopeful that by winning against Fiona, Loid would appreciate her, but now she can't help but feel she is soon going to be tossed out. The neighbor notices Yor's sad face and asks what happened. Yor replies that she is soon going to be tossed out. The neighbor starts gossiping that her husband must be cheating on her. Loid hears it and realizes Yor is concerned about Fiona. He cannot let this misunderstanding go on, or else Yuri will definitely execute him. So at night, after bribing Frank to babysit Anya, Loid meets up with Yor to have a drink and clarify the misunderstanding. In the bar, Yor is freaking out as to why Loid has invited her to have a drink. She wonders if her days as Loid's wife are over. But on a side note, she understands they are only pretending, so if Fiona is someone Loid really loves, she must respect his feelings and give her blessings. As she is about to tell Loid that, strangely, Yor doesn't have the courage to say it. Deep inside, irrespective of her work, she genuinely wants to continue this family. But she must give her blessings and accept the reality, so she ends up drinking the juice, a lot of it. She instantly gets drunk. But instead of giving her blessings, she ends up asking if he is in love with Fiona. Loid tries his best to clarify that she is just a colleague. But Yor is not at all listening, and says that unlike Fiona, she isn't pretty, but still she is trying to be a better mother and wife. It was at this point Loid realizes that he earlier thought Yor was attached to Anya and wants to become a good mother. But what he sees now is that Yor is jealous and has developed romantic feelings for him. Without wasting even a second, like a true spy, Loid uses Yor's emotions to his benefit. He expresses that all this time he finally realized his true feelings for her. And now he wants to marry her for real. Yor couldn't handle such a confession, and with her full strength kicks Loid and sends him fly away. Loid smoothly lands and pretends everything is fine. But the damage he took was incredible. He realizes he became too cocky, and this kick was Yor's way to rejecting the marriage proposal. Soon, Loid goes unconscious. He starts to dream of lying next to his mother and listening to her gentle and soothing lullaby she always sang. He soon wakes up and realizes it's Yor who is singing the lullaby. He quickly gets up. While in a drunken state, Yor apologizes for being a useless wife, feeling that anyone would get fed up with a woman like her. Loid thinks back and shares that even though he has forgotten his mother's face, when he was around Anya's age, he loved being in her arms. Despite all the bombings happening outside, by hugging her he was able to sleep soundly because he knew his mother was strong. And just like her, Anya always tells him that whenever she is in danger, she knows she will be okay because her mother will always come to save her. The reason Anya can feel safe and smile without any worry is because of Yor. He tells Yor that she is a strong mother. And as for Fiona being Anya's mother, Loid assures her that Fiona doesn't have any parenting skills, so Anya will never accept her. Loid requests Yor to continue being Anya's mother, as well as his wife. Yor is emotional and promises that she'll do her best. After this lovely night, both of them walk home. The following day, there's a social gathering for Imperial scholars and their parents. Loid knows Donovan Desmond will come to attend because his first son, Demetrius, is an Imperial scholar. So this is a very crucial opportunity he has to get close to him. As expected, the security is very high. Loid doesn't want to create any unnecessary risks by disguising as a waiter or someone else's parent. If Desmond becomes even slightly suspicious, he won't attend any other social gatherings. And the mission will be over right then and there. If assassinating Desmond was an option, it would have been a lot easier. But to prevent a war, continuous interaction and gathering information is necessary. That's why the best way to get close to him is by being Loid Forger. In the school, everyone is requesting Damien to let them meet his father. But Damien shuts them up and goes away. Even he isn't sure if he will be able to meet his father. Yesterday, he asked his brother to tell their father to meet him in the courtyard of Library 2, if he could spare even a little bit of time. But Damien knows how busy his father is. Just upon thinking about meeting him, he starts feeling nervous and decides he should just cancel the meeting. Loid hears it and is in a panic. He is hoping to use Damien to meet Desmond. But if Damien cancels the meeting, he will not have any other choice but to wait for the next opportunity. Fortunately, Anya hears her father's mind and understands what she has to do. She stops Damien and tells him that she knows he is scared of his father scolding him because he got 50 marks on one of his subjects. But she tells him not to be scared. Because even though she scored 13, she still showed it to her father because she loves him. And if Damien also loves his father, he shouldn't be scared. Damien gets embarrassed and tells her he isn't scared and will meet his father. Loid doesn't know how Anya pulled it off, but he is proud of her. It's evening and the social gathering is over. With it, Loid begins his act. After he plants Anya's keychain, he approaches Damien and his friend. He asks if they have seen his daughter Anya's keychain. Damien earlier found it, so he returns it. Loid continues his act. On realizing he is Damien, he gets on his knees and apologizes for her daughter's mischief on the day of the entrance ceremony. Just then, Donovan Desmond arrives. Loid tries to get closer, but the guard stops him. But after Damien clarifies he is his classmate's father, Desmond allows Loid to talk. Loid introduces himself and apologizes for his daughter's rude behavior. As an apology, he wants to give him a gift. But Desmond tells Loid to not mind, as it's just a squabble between children. Damien tells his father to not let this go easily because it's his son who was humiliated. Loid supports Damien by saying, Damien is absolutely right and as an apology, he must give a gift. But yet again, Desmond refuses. Loid doesn't want to be persistent, so he doesn't force it anymore. Damien is frustrated and asks his father why he can't get angry for his sake. Desmond gives a look. And afterwards Damien doesn't say anything further. Loid expresses how much hassle it is for him and his wife to take care of their daughter. Because of her recklessness, they have a hard time. It's difficult to control children. And as a parent, he realized that we shouldn't have too many one-sided hopes and disappointments about our children. After all, raising a child is difficult. Desmond agrees with what Loid said. He added that even your own child is a stranger, and it's impossible to ever be able to understand each other. Loid starts to understand the reasoning behind Desmond's plan to initiate war. But he needs to side with him, so he agrees that it's true. Loid adds that after all, even as a psychiatrist, there are a lot of times when he cannot understand his patient's feelings. Loid knows the only way to have a communication with Desmond is by talking about ideology. He further says that according to him, it's also important to continue walking beside each other. Despite his and his daughter's differences, he tries his best to understand and accept her. Desmond agrees with what Loid said. Loid further adds that he heard from her daughter that in their recent project, Damien wrote a beautiful report about his father. Even though earlier he was against his party's ideals, but after hearing the report, he became interested and started admiring how much concern Desmond is for our nation. Desmond finally melts. He praises Loid as an interesting man. However, he doesn't have any more time to spare. Loid understands it and thanks Desmond for his time. As for now, it's enough for Desmond to remember Loid's name. And Loid has also memorized the face and builds of Desmond's bodyguards. Before leaving, Loid tells Damien that despite what has happened between him and Anya, she doesn't actually dislike him. She actually wants to be his friend. Damien starts to blush. In embarrassment, he declares that he will never become friends with that peasant. After Loid leaves, Damien gathers his courage and tells his father about him getting a Stella and also about the 50 marks he got on one of his subjects. With a straight face, Desmond says, "Well done." This is enough to make Damien happy. Upon observing their interactions, Loid grasps a better understanding of Desmond's relationship with his second son. After making significant progress in Operation Strix, Loid returns home. If you enjoyed the recap, please consider liking and subscribing this channel. Have a wonderful day ahead.